welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Alyssa, and today I have a finale for my Pan That palette. So Pan That palette is a project that a lot of people do here on YouTube and on Instagram, all the socials. And the idea is that you are finishing a palette, face palette, eye palette, whatever. So I'm coming on here without a completely empty palette, and you might be wondering why this is a finale then. So let me go ahead and just get into it. Okay, so last year I started the year with a palette and I did finish it. And as I was getting close to finishing it, I went ahead and started working on my Stoned Vibes palette because I knew that this was getting old. I figured this was something I could, maybe actually use up shades and that kind of thing, like have a good focus. At the time, I was working on all the shades that were in here, and I have finished a good number of them. Maybe in the last 2-3 months or so, I kind of realized that the matte eyeshadows, I didn't really care about finishing anymore, so I decided to stop focusing on them. I was still kind of using them some, and then recently I just stopped using them entirely because it's like, well, I may as well use other eyeshadows in my collection that are better, and that kind of thing. So it's mostly been the shimmers. From the time, let's see, how long has it been? It has been, since I filmed the last one, about 3 weeks. And I know that this video will probably go up sooner than 3 weeks from that one. It's just, how I film things when they get edited and posted, all that stuff. And normally, I'd have another week or so I'd be working on it, then I would film an update and that kind of thing. I am done. I decided. I just haven't been super motivated to use the shadows that are left in here. I have finished all of my favorites. And the other part of it is I think when I'm using them, it is causing my eyes to water more. Now, my eyes will water other times. Like they were watering all morning today. There was no makeup on them. They were just watering. So, it could just be that the sun moved a certain way in the sky and my eyes decided to water. So, I can't blame it entirely on this palette, but I will say that it has seemed more likely on the days that I've been using it. So I just don't want to bother with that, especially for shades that I'm not that excited about, if that makes sense. So let me go ahead and show you the inside, although I'll also have a picture up, but I can kind of talk through. So this was the one matte eyeshadow. I did finish that. And then I had finished, so I'm trying to think from what you had seen last time. Yes, so let's see, the blue shade was already done. Tiger's Eye was not done. That's the only one I finished since filming the last one. So that one's this one right here. And technically, like when I take the picture, you're gonna see there's like little remnants in there that I just can't get out easily, and I'm not gonna be bothered about that. But yeah, what's funny is the last time I wore it, I had posted on Instagram where like I had the look and I said something about I had to just almost immediately wipe off my eyes and just, clear it all out. And I was wearing this shadow at the time. I didn't really think anything of it. I was kind of thinking it was just bad luck. But yeah, I think the eyeshadows are just done for me now, which, it's a little sad, but at least, like I said, I did finish my favorites. So that shade though, I finished. It took me actually just one more use to finish it. I have used this shade twice since my last update, and it's also in my Expand Those pans. So I'm going to just stop at that point. I am at, I don't know, I want to say I'm about halfway through using it on there. Somewhere around 5 uses. It might be 4, might be 6, something like that. So it wouldn't have been much more anyway. And yeah, I wore this one, maybe not yesterday. I think it was like the day before, all over my lids. Yesterday, I used this one and this one actually. So let's see, I think those are both at 1 use. No, I'm sorry, this one is at 2 uses. And the green shade I did use one time, but yeah, this one just has a lot of fallout. So there's that. And actually my eyes, they weren't watering the day I used that one. At least maybe a little bit, but it didn't seem to or was that when I had to like undo the bottom half and it was like okay on the lid? It was, I feel like I was still having a little bit of eye dissatisfaction that day. Yeah, so we're gonna say goodbye. I end up using another 5/100ths of a gram, which is really not much if you've been following me. You know, I've been using like a gram or more each time. So, you know, I'm not going to throw this out yet. I might actually still use them on my nails, especially these two, because they're more sparkly and they tend to go well for that. So, you know, I might use it for that. I don't know. Part of me is like, oh, the palette's pretty, so do I keep it just to be like, look at? But I kind of feel like I've gotten a lot of visual time with it since it's been a Pan That palette for months, so it's just hanging out in my makeup bag and I see it all the time. So I might actually be okay with this bulky packaging being out of my life. So yeah, I'll just kind of put it more with my nail stuff and see if I want to use it for that. But if not, not a big deal. So I am going to go ahead and, you know, the finished shadows are finished, and then I'm decluttering then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shadows. But I do feel like, you know, it's looking very well used and loved. I've definitely gotten my money's worth. I only paid $21 or so for this palette, and thinking about all the uses, even just in this Pan That palette project, I'm also thinking about Stone and the project that they're doing where it's trying to get everything in the collection down to like $1 per use. This was way under $1 per use. So, you know, this might be closer to like a penny per use. So I'm very proud of myself for that. And I do want you to stay tuned because I'm about to like film an intro or something for a new project, at least one. There might be another one coming, but for now I'm just gonna, I think, do the one. We'll see. Sometimes the mood hits me to start something new, so I might start the second one. But anyway, I want to thank you so much for watching. And even though this project is done, like I said, I have plenty other projects that if you like watching these types of videos, you can subscribe to my channel. I am trying to hit 500 by the end of this year. So thank you again. And until my next video, I hope you'll be doing well. And I'll see you then. Bye. Bye, palette.